Your knowledge is so rich. Like it's no wonder that you have several shows and several books. And really shifting gears here for a minute, just into the other shows that you have on the Evergreen Network. Countdown to Dallas, one of my favorites. It's a look at the broken life of Lee Harvey Oswald, JFK's killer. West Wing Reports, a show founded in 2009, and that provides reports for television across the U.S. and also internationally. From First Lady to Jackie O, that's your companion podcast to Jackie, the book that you've written. Do you have a favorite of the four that are on the network?
Well, they're all interesting in their own way. And it's really a privilege to be able to do a podcast because, books are one thing. Books are hard work. But a podcast is another thing entirely because podcasts, of course, revolve around the use of sound. So you have to be very diligent, if that's the word, about using that properly as part of your storytelling. So,
Yes.
When I worked in the radio business for a long time, people know the phrase that a picture is worth 1,000 words. I think in terms of radio and podcasting that the opposite is true, meaning that a word is worth 1,000 pictures. So in other words, you take the old saying, turn it upside down. I think radio and podcasts are so much fun because it really allows the listener to see a picture in their minds. The imagination is far more powerful than anything even the most talented film director could do. The imagination is just a very powerful platform, and radio and podcasts, which are kind of similar, obviously, allows you to do that. So podcasts are just, to me, they're just a lot of fun to do.
It's so well said. And I think it's very well illustrated in Countdown to Dallas, just the way that the sound is used and the way that the interviews, even interviewing Oswald's wife, is so powerful. I just think that is incredible. And do you have anything else particular that you are wanting to cover with his life in your career?
In terms of Lee Harvey Oswald, I think that I don't really want to go beyond what I'm doing with this particular show in terms of Oswald. I mean, he clearly was just a bad character, disturbed, unstable, and all the rest. And I think as I tell his story, as it in the end collides with that of John F. Kennedy for just a few dreadful seconds, I don't really want to really go beyond that. It's just such a wretched life, a wretched individual, and how he changed American history in such an awful way. I just think you tell his story, let it speak for itself, and then move on.
Now, thinking back around to Disinformation, what are you hoping listeners take away from that podcast?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I want them to understand that we're living in a very different era now. We're bombarded by information everywhere: social media, television, radio, newspapers, magazines, on and on and on. It is everywhere, and I think it's harder than ever, Julie, for people to tell what is accurate, what is true, and what is inaccurate and not true. It is harder than ever. Conversely, it's easier than ever for us to be fooled. I think people need to understand that. I think people don't like to be told they are wrong. I think people think that, they believe what they want to believe, and they don't want to be told that what you believe is wrong or that the facts you have are wrong. And yet that's the situation. So I think there are a lot of people, again, without naming names or candidates or issues like that, I think there are a lot of false narratives around serious issues in this country, like immigration and inflation and gun control and abortion, all the things that we all care about, but come at them from different angles. It seems like there are two sets of facts in this country around a lot of these controversial issues. And until we start agreeing on one central set of facts, it's going to be really hard for us to make progress on any of these issues. I think we all believe that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Why can't we have similar basic facts about other things? And we don't. And I think that's part of the problem.